I remember leaving up and down at King's Cross railway station in London before heading north on the night train. It was a foul night, and my journey was compounded with thoughts of up and down, and the last look in her eyes. She had made the decision to go to convent, and I kindly escorted her south by train to London. She was going to be heading over to meet with her mother in London. I think they're going to stay at, I believe it was in Russell Square. Yes, it was Russell Square. Before she was due to travel overseas by train and by ship. I think she was sailing from Ramsgate to Ostend. I think that was the journey she'd taken. I remember her so well. She was very sad. I pleaded with her. I said up and down, you don't need to go. You're not compelled to join any convent. You're not under any obligation to leave us. And she said that she was, she knew that she was in love, and she couldn't work out what love was, and she had such great difficulty with it that she felt the only thing to do was to leave me. I remember her standing there on the platform. She had such a small case with her, just a very dainty case. I said up and down, surely that's not all the possessions you're taking with you? And she said, it is. She says, it's all I need. And she wore a very fine hat. It was brushed blue. I always remember. It was a very deep blue with a kind of charcoal edge to it. A brushed charcoal blue hat. And her hair was very fine and set perfectly. She was absolutely beautiful. She wore like buttons, and they were like small silver buttons with ruby red centres attached to both her ears. Very small. Very angular earlobes. But the little earrings sat perfectly. And when she turned her hair, she eluded such grandeur. And the station lights would blink and flicker, and the earrings seemed to attract the flickering light and shone back into my eyes. Her eyes were very, very deep, very knowing, but also very loving. And I could see the whole universe in her eyes. I could see all the times before, every moment we had shared, and every day that was yet to come was still being imagined in her mind. She tried not to be unhappy for me. I know that. But I could see she was very sad indeed. She was very confused, and I held her hand and I asked her one more time. I said, up and down. The train is sitting there. Will you join me on the journey north? I could feel her hand going quite cold as she released it from me. And she said, I must go. She pulled out a pair of very small but very attractive gloves from her pocket. Yeah. Very fine gloves indeed. I couldn't tell if they were leather or satin. Very pretty gloves. Of course, she wore a matching coat to highlight the fine bonnet upon her head. It was, the cuffs and collar were in an opposite blue and grey, and charcoal grey. Very large buttons on this coat. There must have been more than a dozen buttons on this coat, and even on the sleeves, as I remember, there was two buttons aside. I said up and down, I says, I've never seen so many buttons. And she looked to the side, and I remember her reply. She says, I like buttons. We looked at each other once more. I said, up and down, please. We are both still very young. We have a very good future together. We can have the family and a big home. I know the house. We both know the house. Please reconsider up and down. There was something very distant about her. There was something very distant about the people who passed by as well. I seem to remember so many faces and so many people dashing back and forth in the background, heading for trains and greeting people in happiness and joy, but I could only see up and down. Just as we pulled away from the station in Doncaster, I considered how far away she may be now. So I know she's in Russell Square this evening with Mama. This time tomorrow she may be anywhere in Europe. The last moments were probably the most hurtful of all. I begged her for a kiss. I said, up and down, please, we need to kiss each other. And she said, I don't think it's a good idea. I must go now. She leaned down and she picked up this very small suitcase I mentioned. You see the tears in her eyes and the sadness that surrounded her. I cried out, "Down, up and down, please." She only looked back once, and I could tell she was crying. There were crowds of people all around me. I felt quite faint. I was so overcome with emotion. I could not breathe, I could not shout out. I was in a state of collapse. I was ushered towards the train, and I heard someone say he has a ticket north, and I think it was the station master or somebody got a cup of tea organised, and I was sitting on this train going north, thinking of my last moments with Up and Down. I don't want to give the date because it's such a long time ago. But, I think that this is not knowing when you're going to see someone again is the hardest part of the departure. Down says that she would write to me, but I wasn't to write to her. The guards in the train have been ever so helpful. They keep a check of me, and they give me sweet tea and biscuits, and they've asked me if I wanted to eat anything. I said no. I'm heading back north, but I don't have Up and Down with me. There was a gentleman who was obviously very concerned, and he said, "Look, old chap," he says, "I can see you're very upset, but you have to consider yourself and let the lady be." And I said that she didn't want to go. She didn't know what to do. She was confused in love. And the gentleman said she'd made a decision. You had to respect her decision. It made me cry. I think of Up and Down standing there with a wonderful outfit, and a beautiful coat, and very nice hair that she has. Very beautiful. And the thought of those very times we spent together were going to be a very grand future together, but it was not to be. One of the train guards would say, "Well, we have been going through thunderstorms." And I said, "I am going through my own thunderstorm." And, I don't know how Up and Down is going to be feeling tonight. Don't even know which hotel she's staying with the mama. All I know is it's Russell Square. know why up and down wanted to go to the convent. She lived a fine life. We've been so happy together. I never see her for years and years now. My dearest sweet up and down, why did you banish this beautiful love? Love that was made in heaven for us specially. Why didn't you see it? Why didn't you see its worth in gold? What beautiful children. The happiness that you would have had. I don't even know if when we get to Scotland, this train is very, very, no, it seems to be running smooth. I think I may sleep. And think of up and down. Think of up and down in London town. Maybe she'll come back tomorrow. Maybe she'll be on the first train north. I don't even know where she's going to. I have no idea where she's going to be. My dearest up and down.